Welcome to my Instagram live. I am Dr. Sabiha, and after a long break, I am here to talk about pleasure and aftercare. Now, just imagine if you had an intimate act, if you had an awesome orgasm, your partner just gave you the best of the feelings you wanted ever, and now you're floating in the sky. आसमान में बादलों के ऊपर आप अगर इस वक्त ऐसे फ्लोट कर रहे हो एंड देन सडनली टेक टू योर पार्टनर टेल्स कि चलो चलो हो गया एक्ट, मैं कपड़ा पहनता हूँ, तुम कपड़ा पहनो, टेक दिस टिश्यू, क्लीन इट अप, गो टू वॉशरूम एंड लेट अस मूव आउट ऑफ द रूम. नाउ इमेजिन हाउ कंफ्यूज योर ब्रेन विल बी एट दैट मोमेंट. इमेजिन हैविंग अ पीक लेवल और कोई आपको धड़ाम से ज़मीन पर गिरा रहा है, तो व्हाट हैपन्स? Trust me, it's a very, very confusing state, especially for females. It's too confusing. And even for males, even females are like, हो गया, चलो मुझे किचन में बहुत सारा काम है, मेरा ये मीटिंग पेंडिंग है. तो then there is a lot. On a serious note, it's never about foreplay. It's never only about climax and orgasm. It is also about afterplay or aftercare. And इस टॉपिक पे शिद्दत से ग्रेसफुली बात करने के लिए आई एम श्योर डॉक्टर निवेदिता, माई डियरेस्ट डॉक्टर निवेदिता, उनके अलावा कोई नहीं रहेगा. एंड आफ्टर लॉन्ग टाइम वी बोथ आर गोइंग लाइव. हम दोनों जब भी लाइव पे आते हैं तो ब्लास्ट होता है. एंड या बिफोर गेटिंग हर ऑन, आई कैन सी हर देयर, बट doc, just 1 minute, let me give some loud shout out. See, there are many influencers on Instagram talking about sex and what not. Please do check the profiles, please do check the credibility, and Dr. Nivedita is that person having the experience, having the certifications, having the credibility, being a qualified doctor, practicing what she is preaching and walk the talk जिसको हम बोलते हैं. Then you should be mindful, careful, don't go on the number of the followers, check the credibility, and Dr. Nivedita is sure one of them, and with complete grace she can talk on this topic. So yes, let's welcome her and all the audience. Stay tuned till the end. Trust me, ये live बहुत interesting रहने वाला है. And be graceful in the comment section, please be graceful. Dr. Nivedita, मैंने आपको रिक्वेस्ट भेज दी है.
How are you?
God, after a long time, how are you?
I know. You know what? Very good, very good. Thank you. I've had such a restful Sunday, and I hope you all have had a restful Sunday. Honestly, I don't know. मैंने 3-4 बार सो गई मैं पूरे दिन में. 3-4 times actually.
Good.
No, I know. पता नहीं. Anyway, I've had a very restful Sunday, so it's really nice to come and do this with you, Sabiha. इतना दिन हो गया. I was just seeing your curls, and I was thinking, अरे यार, आज Sabiha तो curls डाली है.
I was expecting you with your curls, but
I know. आज तो मेरा ना थोड़ा lazy Sunday हो गया. So it became like a very lazy Sunday.
One curl is worth $1 million. Trust me.
Next time we will plan even curls and dress code.
Our dress code. So we will be in sync. Because you, trust me, watching you with your reels. Oh God. How do you get the idea?
See, आजकल तो इतना बहुत busy हो गया आजकल तो. I think I don't do as much as you guys are doing. I feel I'm a little bit less, more, like not so active in Instagram like I used to be, but I will get back to it. I will do more education. That is why I thought I should, connect with you, because you're there always. You're giving people the right information. And, Sabiha, before we start this, I really want to tell people what you have said. It is so important to see who you're getting your information from and who is actually talking to you about it. I think that is very important. What is their qualification? What is their experience? And I think that is very important when you're trying, even if it is social media. I understand with social media and the social media platform, everybody has a right to say whatever they want, because nowadays it is more like a POV. Everybody has a point of view and everybody gives the point of view. But what you want to take to use it in your life, or make it work in your life, I think that should be very carefully taken from people who are educated, professionals, also experienced in this field. And I think that is very important.
Very true. And see, now when Dr. Nivedita is putting a content, so I need not check, right, whether it is right or wrong, because I know the person behind the content. it's not about how presentable the content is. It's about who is putting the content. I strongly feel that. And especially with a sensitive topic like sex, ये तो ऐसे किसी का भी आप जाके सुन के नहीं कुछ कर सकते हैं. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Pleasure. And I wanted to tell you, Ki, I saw you this morning. You were giving a talk about clitoris and pleasure, and the amount of men in the front rows. And I was so, I must say, I'm kind of jealous of कि मैं India में होके ये सब नहीं कर पा रही हूँ. Like, you know, I mean, I'm very, very far away. I try to do it through the social media platform. But ऐसे नहीं, I could see how a lady is standing in, you know, with the mic and talking about clitoral pleasure to all these men. In fact, they looked, you know, men who are on a much older. They're not younger people. They're not like 20s. ऐसे नहीं है. Yeah, and older. And I was thinking, amazing. That's amazing work. You should pat, you know, yourself on the back. It was great. Amazing, amazing.
And trust me, more than Instagram, and as you said, now even Instagram is tiresome sometimes.
Yeah.
There's lots to handle other part. Whereas you go, and I was thinking my target audience is 25 to 35, only till 40, and they all were menopausal ladies, and they were enjoying. They had so many questions, and they were all senior citizens.
Yes,
yeah.
And that is what I thought, that mixed crowd, both ladies and men, the mixed crowd were enjoying what you were saying, and I thought that is amazing.
You come to
India, wohi change hai, Sabiha, that's change. That is what we want to bring to India, right?
Absolutely. Our India, together we can do a lot.
I know people keep saying, "Tu India क्यों नहीं चली जाती? यहाँ बैठ के क्यों ये सब कर रही है?"
Or you just prior tell me कि these are the dates I will be coming. I will arrange a workshop. I'll get the audience. I'll damn do everything.
Next time पक्का ऐसे करेंगे सभी. Next time
please,
definitely.
Because we want good speakers, Nivedita. We want good doctors. We don't want influencers.
No, I know, because we're teaching we're teaching real subjects and real things. It's nice if educated people are out there doing this, you know.
So yes, coming to today's topic. Yeah, for me it matters a lot, and I had very bad experiences with AfterCare. So first, I would like you to introduce us. We all know foreplay, we all know climax, but we are very much far away from AfterCare. So something first, introduce that topic to us, and then let's go exploring it.
Definitely. See, I mean, everywhere, either in your social media or Instagram, everybody is talking about pleasure, and it is about sexual pleasure. How do I have pleasurable, amazing sex? And everybody's, I'm sure, you know, talking about orgasm, reaching that end point and amazing sex. This is what all this is about. And people are also, like, I understand that now they're becoming very aware that penetrative sex is not the only thing, and clitoris and clitoral stimulation is important, and how clitoris is like the penis in men, you know, all these things. So I think while we are getting all the anatomy and getting these things right, somehow between all of this, what actually matters to have an ongoing pleasurable sex is kind of lost, because I feel like sex is a mental thing more than a physical thing. You may know the parts of the body very well. You may rub and, you know, do the things. You can do whatever you want, you know, for pleasure at that orgasm and stuff like that. But in order to have a joyful, pleasurable sexual life continuing, I mean, it's different, I think, if you're having casual sex, if it's a casual partner, if it's a one-time thing, it's different. But when it comes to regular partners and having amazing sex, I feel like foreplay and aftercare are very, very, very important, you know, especially when we're in a long-term relationship now. So when we're having sex, you know, we want to have sex. Yes, both partners want to have sex, and then you have sex, and then you're right. Sometimes you're like, oh shit, I left, you know, I've got to go back and finish the kitchen work. Or sometimes, you know, people are like, oh, I have a meeting in next 15 minutes. Chalo, I have to get up and run. These kind of things are very common, you know, and this is happening. And the whole thing of just lying down and, you know, cuddling and talking about how the sex was at that point, or is there something else that they would have enjoyed? What next time we'll try this, or I would have enjoyed this better. It's okay, but this was fun. in nothing, none of these things. Somehow these things get missed. And I feel if you next time want to come to bed and having again amazing sex, again next time come and have amazing sex, if you want to keep doing this, aftercare is very important. And I feel like people kind of forget that, you know, just lying there kissing someone's forehead, or just lying there and, you know, putting your hair into someone's hand into someone's hair, just listening to even irrelevant or something completely out of the blue stories, those things make it so memorable, and those things start connecting it with the sex you had. So it's not just the sex. Even, you know, sometimes, not every time you will not be having an amazing sex or amazing orgasm. It differs from time to time. Sometimes it is short, sometimes it is longer. Independent of how that was, your after play will set your mood. It will set the pace for how you feel now after, to get up and go. If you quickly do a bang bang and you have a great, you know, orgasm, and then you get up and you're not even hugging, not doing anything, just getting up and going, yeah, I don't know if that is setting the mood for the next time. Pata nahi is time kya bhi ho gaya, however it was, it doesn't matter. But if you want this to keep going, if you want this, you know, to be like in a relationship, or, you know, something to have amazing, it has to be done more. Your foreplay and afterplay, you know, I always listen to the saying where people say foreplay is not just in bed before sex. Foreplay begins way behind, way before you even come into the bedroom. You know, it's about massaging their feet in the hall, or it's about saying, "Arey, don't cook, let's not cook, let's just get takeaway." You are just appreciating and saying, "You do so much, aaj to ruk do, don't do it today." You know, stuff like that. Those kind of things actually is your, you know, is setting the foundation for amazing sex. And I think that is what people are missing, because everybody is focusing on the sexual act. Everybody's like, what can I do? What can I do to feel the great? No, whatever you can do, it's not actually what you can do in the bed. What you can do is, you probably got to build it. You probably got to drive someone so crazy that they're doing all these things in bed with you because you made them feel amazing before that. And the same thing is important, is after all the sex, the way you feel someone, you know, make someone feel after you've had that sex, that is very important. And I think that is your groundwork to having amazing sex. And that is why I told you today we have to talk about, you know, aftercare, because it is so important. So after, you know, after you have the orgasm, you have the hormone oxytocin. That comes out, right? And the oxytocin is the lovey-dovey hormone. So after you've got all have that aggressive sex and then everything that's orgasm, you have the oxytocin which wants you to cuddle, the oxytocin which wants you to kiss. Sometimes the oxytocin is the sensitive hormone, you know, sometimes even people tear, almost people cry after, you know, yeah, that all that is because of that. If we're not feeding that oxytocin, when you feel like you want to cuddle, when you feel like you want to kiss, when you feel like it, when your body and mind and everything feels that, if you don't understand that, and if you quickly brush it off, the body will need it. The body will definitely need cuddles and kisses afterwards. So sometimes I see that, you know, with my patients, they don't understand. They feel like, oh, we're having great sex, but I don't know what's wrong. This is what may be wrong. So for people who think like they're having amazing sex, but after sex, if you get, I mean, I understand some people prefer to get up and go and wash up, but even after washing up, you need to come back and cuddle in, you know, and face each other and cuddle and just talk to each other. And that kind of aftercare, that kind of saying, even though this is over, even though the sexual pleasure is over, I still want to talk to you. I still care about how you're feeling. And those kind of things are very important for a very happy and a very successful ongoing both sexual life and relationship. And I think we should, and I thought we should talk about it, you know.
Actually, Doc, in my personal experience, I say, once the act is finished, and I'm on a peak, if my partner at that moment talks anything which is not related to that intimacy, my brain goes confused. It goes confused, you know, because I'm at a high.
Yeah.
Someone even tells me, okay, wear your dress, jaldi pehan lo. Even this line is like an anchor. it triggers, and my brain can't receive it. मतलब मुझे किसी की
No,
back नहीं देखनी है.
but sex is not meant to be like that, Sabiha. Na, jaldi. I mean, yes. See, sometimes agar time bhi nahi hai, but you're really feeling horny, and kabhi, you do a quickie. People do quickies. People do it really quick. That's fine. But even after a quickie, just a cuddle and kissing on the forehead is,
How much
things like
time
that
it
is very
takes?
important. Quickie ko bhi arrogant. You don't have to do it arrogant. You don't have to do it rude. There's a difference between doing it quick, and there is a difference between doing it rough or doing it a bit insensitive. It's very important to be sensitive after the sexual act. Sometimes people understand, they have to be sensitive, they have to say all these dialogues and stuff in order to make the person high or have sex, and the foreplay and the talk, everything is done really well. But then immediately after the sex is over, it's like, okay, chalo, let's just get up and go. And then, let's go get ready. What do you want to do? Do you want to eat? Da, da, da. Yes, we can do all of that. But give it 5 to 10 minutes for that oxytocin to actually, get what it wants.
Yeah.
It's a love hormone. It wants to be loved. Sex is different from love, and I think people should understand this. And to have repeatedly high and amazing sex, especially with the one partner, if you're in a relationship and monogamous relationship, and with the one partner, if you constantly want to feel that amazing sex, you need to do foreplay and aftercare. If you're not doing that, the sex part is not going to be amazing, no matter how much you read, no matter how many, sexual classes you attend, or no matter how many books, or no matter how much porn you watch. It's not going to work. Because unfortunately, still many people do their sex, or what they do in the bed is from the pornography that they've watched. And unfortunately, if you notice, in pornography, they are not showing aftercare. That's not normal sex. Pornography is some kind of a weird, what to say?
Ejaculation and the scene finishes.
Yeah.
And the scene finishes.
Yeah, see, and it's not real life. It's not real life sex. That's not how real life sex works, unfortunately. And I think we've spoken about this many times. And it's more like it's more like a film. It's like a unnatural. In fact, it's like a superhero film, not even like a realistic film. It's like a superhero film. It's unnatural what they're showing in pornography. So I think what is very important, in terms of having a great sexual life is your aftercare and your foreplay. And it's about how you treat the person. You can't have great sex in bed with somebody that you're not, if they don't feel amazing, they won't give you what's amazing. And I think this is very basic with sex that people don't understand. As much as people think I'm getting sex, now I can see people want to get sex educated. Great. But even when you want to get sex educated, you are focusing on the organs that you need to rub harder. You're like, let me get sex educated. Oh my God, you're telling me that I shouldn't do bang, bang, bang. So I should rub the shit out of the clitoris. No. That's not how you have amazing sex at all. So I think when everybody's talking about pleasure, I thought, we should just take a minute and come and tell to people, yes, we understanding pleasure. We understanding anatomical pleasure, anatomy of how to give pleasure. But pleasure is a very mental thing, and I think that is what people have to understand is if you don't satisfy people's emotional side of things and mental side of things, having that amazing sexual feeling is actually not going to work. And that is the truth. Yeah. So in order to have, that kind of amazing feeling, your foreplay and aftercare, just give it 10 minutes. Cuddle and just give it 10 minutes to either ways tell your partner that it was not all about the sex. It's so important to let your partner know that it was not all about the sex. It's not like after the sex, I'm going to just turn around and sleep. And,
that's worse.
Worst. Oh, it's horrible. It's heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. It's heartbreaking.
Traumatic,
you feel so used. No?
Exactly.
And people who are having sex with you will feel so used. I mean, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're tired. Doesn't matter if it's at the end of the day, when you were so exhausted, if you could pull yourself to have sex,
then
definitely
you
you
can
can
do that.
pull, yeah, then just continue, drag that pulling a little bit, and definitely you can, cuddle. Definitely you can kiss someone on the forehead, and you cuddle and go to sleep like that, have a snooze, have a snore, then you can get up and say, oh my god, and then go get, dressed, whatever, and that's okay too. After you having a sexual encounter, getting up immediately and going away, or immediately turning to the other side and just falling asleep, not account, that is rude, that is arrogant, and definitely something that is not acceptable, and that is not something that is going to lead to healthy relationships. When if people are feeling like, I'm amazing in bed, but I don't know why he or she is satisfied, think about what you're doing before it, and think about what you're doing after it, because that is very important. It doesn't matter, you can have a very, like you said, size doesn't matter, but still people are worried about the size of the penis. You can have a large penis, you can have a thick penis, you can withstand and have penetrative sex for a very long time, but independent of all of this, you might see that your partner is not very happy. Independent of all of this, there may be a lot of fights. Independent of all of this, people may cheat on each other. And if you're actually sitting up and thinking, what's going on? I thought we had an amazing, sex life or amazing time in bed. You have to really pause and think, what did you do before that? What did you do after that? Have you been fighting a lot? Like aftercare, what do you do after sex? Has anybody, like, I don't know, we're all focused on what do we do during sex? What do you do after sex? I think we all should focus a little bit on what do we do after sex, because aftercare is very important. After sex, cuddling, important. After sex, kissing, important. After sex, hygiene, going and peeing and not getting UTIs, important. So after sex is very important. What do we do after sex? That sets the mood for wanting to do it again next time with you. And I think that is what is important.
Underline with you.
Yeah. Because that is why I'm emphasizing on it, because people are thinking, well, I want to have sex, but I don't want, because you're not treating me well, you're not fulfilling that oxytocin that just oozed out and that is craving for hugs and cuddles. You're not fulfilling it. So I think if you want someone to want to repeatedly come and have amazing sex with you, please pay attention to what you're doing before you get into the bed and have real sex, and please pay attention to after. Aftercare is very important, and making them feel loved and cared and not used is very important.
I have a client who I can't reveal the names.
Yeah,
but
of course.
She had a very beautiful relationship, awesome. And what bothered her, the way, because after the ejaculation part, and when the husband comes out, and because they were having an unprotected sex, because monogamous relationship, so contraceptions and condoms was never a concern. What was the concern, Nivedita? The husband used to finish it off, and there used to be a tissue bundle, and he used to take the tissue and just put it inside. Instead of wiping it off slowly, so that used to bother her. Now imagine. And
horrible.
It's horrible. You can't matlab, she used to say ki I used to get such a great high. Indeed, every time I want the same high again, but the way it used to end with that, so she was getting phobia of that.
People don't want to do it anymore, and I think we underestimate it. So when you're having amazing sex, Sabiha, like you said, and then if you're like doing stuff like immediately pulling and immediately getting up, and I mean, some people are even paranoid about, the hygiene, and I'm going immediately get up, immediately go away, and immediately wash and clean everything and everything, and then they come back with cold hands because abhi to washing hua hai na. So then you come back with thanda haath se, you come with all cold hands and everything, and then you feel like, I am clean. Do you want to go and go and clean also and come? Pura mood, like the whole mood is gone. Yeah, the whole mood is gone. The whole, I don't know. You just don't want to do it again. Do you know? It's
you
like
treat someone as if, when you omit or when you have made some ganda mess, and then how you want to clean it up. You can't
Yeah.
clean it up like that.
Yes, you can't behave like that. You can't do like that. And I think it's very important for men, even people who have amazing sex, to understand that aftercare, there has to be an amount of gentleness. There has to be an amount of kindness. There has to be an amount of love to after the sex is over. There's no way you can get up after sex and say, okay, let me go and clean. You also clean. If you're going to behave like it's vomit, you're right. It's like, well, I don't think you're going to have amazing sex again. At least not with the
Because
same
in my
person.
experience, I feel there's so much of oxytocin. I'm at such a big high.
Yeah.
I'm at a different level of emotion.
Yeah.
And I am totally associated in that act.
Yeah.
And how can I, in a fraction of a second, get dissociated out of it? I need some time, right?
Yeah.
I need some time. It's
Yeah.
like a sentence चल रहा है, किसी ने अचानक बीच में कॉमा के जगह फुल स्टॉप लगा दिया, फटाक से रोक दिया.
Yeah.
Even a fast speeding train yesterday we saw how it
Yeah.
met with an accident.
Yeah.
Huge accident.
Yeah.
तो वैसे हमारी बॉडी की हार्ट बीट की स्पीड इतनी फास्ट ट्रेन के जैसे चल रही है, और आप खटाक से आप अगर उसको बीच में रोक दोगे, तो God knows what must be happening inside.
Yeah, and after, like you said, the word you used, it is kind of very traumatic.
Yeah.
People start feeling scared to do it again because they don't want to be treated like that again. If you think this is yeah, and they don't want to be like that. They don't want to have great sex and then made feel used or made feel like, acha chalo, now I want to sleep. Arey yaar, main thak gayi. Like in the sense, oh, my head is hurting. Oh, my back's hurting. Oh, don't put your hand on me. Arey, like up until you had sex, it was fine.
And suddenly it is gone.
And suddenly it is like, oh, my back's hurting. Arey chalo, abhi to ho gaya na. Just move. Those things are very wrong. And I think that is something that even if, like a lot of the times with regular partners, I think people take them for granted. And with the regular partners, it's very important that aftercare happens. Even for the whole relationship, and then a lot of the times you think, oh, she's not in the mood, wo to karna hi nahi chahti, matlab kyun karegi? How are you treating her after? How are you treating her before? She must want to do it with you. And wanting to do it with you does not depend on how long or how thick it is. Wanting to do it with you is about how amazing a person you are.
And Doc, मुझे बताओ ना, post having an intimate act, हम एक अच्छे नजर से देख भी लेना.
Yeah.
Even if you don't talk, even if you look at each other, that nazar kitna bolegi. But even if you don't have the time to look, because I'm emotionally, physically, completely naked, right? I'm at a high.
And vulnerable.
And
right?
vulnerable.
Vulnerable time hai. Yeah.
Vulnerable.
And people are vulnerable at that point, and they are like, they're lying, like you said, they're lying naked in front of you. They are vulnerable both physically and emotionally and mentally and every way. And it is, it's not nice to treat someone who is vulnerable like that with you. Shatak se, ho gaya. Yeah, finished. Okay. Let me just,
Okay, आप 2 सेकंड पहले, if you are having a good penetrative intimate act, 2 सेकंड पहले आप body to body, soul to soul ऐसे थे, and 2 मिनट में आप ऐसे हो गए और ऐसे भी हो गए. इतने सारे transitions.
And I think that is what is important. So I wanted to actually talk about just that today. To tell people that you're missing the point. Like you're missing the point. You can never treat someone like that after you've had great sex and then expect to have great sex over and over. It's impossible because sex is mental. And I think I want people to understand that, having amazing sex is a mental thing. It's not a physical thing.
Yeah. I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Can aftercare relieve sexual shame?
Yes, 100%. Actually, that's a good question because, see, I missed using that word shame. Yes, and I think shame is a fantastic word. And I think after or during a naked situation, many people, even especially culturally, I think there is an element of shame that is kind of guilt that is there, that is associated with sex for some reason in our culture, right? So there is an element. And in order to make each other feel like not feeling shame, There should be that after that pleasure, after you have enjoyed, there should be that cuddle. There should be that, that love, so that that shame element is actually removed. That is a very good point, because as soon as you're done with it, if somebody treats you like that, it is almost like shaming you, isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
It
you're
is.
right. It is almost like shaming you, and you feel insulted, you feel shamed. And I think that question is fantastic, because you're right. Shame is the word. Many of the time people feel shamed. People feel not good about themselves. You make them feel bad about themselves by behaving that way, and that's not a nice thing to do. And that is
Even
not
if it is a
something.
quickie, if your
Yes.
brain must have calculated a 5 minutes quickie or a 10 minutes quickie,
Oh,
so it can
doesn't
be
matter.
10.11 minutes,
Even
okay,
if
1
it is
minute extra.
even if it is a quickie, I think it's very important. You're right. Even if you're having a quickie, even if you feel like let's quickly have sex, whatever it is very, very important that people, even after the quickie, it is okay to say, oh my god, I love you baby, and kiss on their forehead and give a hug. It will take you 10 extra seconds.
How much?
Yes. And if you actually someone who can't be bothered to do it, all I can tell people is, don't be bothered sleeping with people like that. It's not even worth it. What are we doing? Like,
now that is the point.
Yeah. Don't be bothered. Don't bother. What's the point? What's the point? If people cannot, like, even if this has to be an argument, if you have to tell someone, Arey, why can't you hug me? Arey, why can't you kiss me? Why can't you? If this is even an argument, and if this is
Then
even a
it is
conversation,
baseless.
yes, this is bare minimum, guys. This is bare minimum. This is basic. After you've had sex, being nice to someone, treating someone nicely, not making them feel used or shamed, just giving them a cuddle, a kiss on the forehead. It's a matter of quick seconds, to be honest. So if somebody is actually making a big drama about being able to give you bare minimum, you should rethink who you're sleeping with, actually. It's very important.
This is such a great point. I know it may or may not relate, but this is because then when you sit over a dining table to discuss with your coach, this never comes out.
No.
This never comes out. But this is the biggest loophole of that relationship.
Yeah.
And it
100%.
will be like, so जो आग है ना, जो दबी हुई राख के जैसे सुलग रही है अंदर का अंदर, ऊपर सब अच्छा दिख रहा है.
Yes. And it will not last long. ना सबिहा, it will not last long. तुम जो भी कर लो, 10 साल, 15 साल, बस, that's it. People feel like 10 years or 15 years is a long time. People say, अरे 10 साल से है लिया, अब क्या? 15 साल से है लिया. Let me tell you, it's 10-15 years के बाद सहना is very difficult. The first 10 to 15 years, honestly, adjusting, everything goes so easily because you are falling pregnant, you will have young kids, you will be running around. Iske janjat mein actually the first 10-15 years of a marriage easily will go by. So easily. वो जो 15 years के बाद, when your kids have become 12-13 teenagers होने वाले, kids and stuff like that, and then you're paying attention to your relationship again. The relationship that you were paying attention to before the wedding and stuff like that, that relationship in the first 10-15 years of the wedding, you will lose it because you're busy with other life goals, other life things, your career, whatever. The first 15 years goes very quickly. But if somebody doesn't treat someone correctly, if somebody doesn't respect someone, give them, the love, in every way, not just in sex and bed, but also in life, but also in bed. Because bed is a personal space. Bed is a space where people are vulnerable. And if you haven't treated each other almost like babies, if you don't treat each other like a baby, if you don't love and care, if you don't have that, after 15 years, when you say, everybody takes it for granted. Everybody thinks like 10 saal, 15 saal to ho gaya, ab kya hoga? No, abhi hoga. After 15 years, after everything is over and you've reached a certain point, when you're now reconsidering and thinking, now what? The teenage child doesn't so need you as much as it needed you when it was a little baby. So you have all the time. All you have is your partner, and you start noticing things with your partner. You start noticing, he doesn't even look at me. He doesn't even hug me. He doesn't even, when was the last time he kissed me on the forehead? He doesn't. That is when you start noticing. You will feel amazed, like many divorces or many marriages falling apart. If you see, many will happen only after the first 10, 12 years. I don't know how often you've heard this, but I've heard so many women now, lately, men and women, most of them, many of them have been married for a very long time. And are only now and getting divorced. Very rarely you see people saying, I was married only for 6 months and we are getting divorced. To 1 year mein divorce ho raha hai. All that short period mein hi divorce means something big has happened, and that actually is rare. If you see the amount of divorces, there are people who have actually lived many years with someone and have actually gone out of love, have actually failed in a way, not getting emotionally and physically and amically satisfied in a way, not feeling special, not feeling heard. Many times in divorces, women say, I feel invisible. People are not seeing me. I feel invisible. That's how they feel, invisible. After you've had sex, if you turn around and sleep, and you probably will be snoring in 5 minutes, and if she gets up and walks away from the bed, you wouldn't even notice. That is feeling invisible. That is a sad state in the relationship. And I think that is what people need to work on. So if you want long-lasting relationships, it's very important that you care, love, and respect people before and after the act. For the act to be amazing and for the relationship to continue as well.
Also, I have another perspective through a question. Actually, it's a mail, not a question. Someone shared on this topic. It's a reverse role now, Doc. Here, the male has kept me, the male partner has sent a message telling ki it's 15 years of married life.
Yeah.
The wife comes as if the duty sex, and she's a ghungat wala couple. So she will not even completely remove the ghungat. She will pull the sari up. Kar lo kya karna hai. And then she will like, jaldi jaldi kar lo. And that is the dialogue during the sex. Kitna time le rahe ho? Thoda jaldi kar lo.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
And it finishes, and then she goes back to her work, and that person was like in trauma.
They will be. It's horrible.
It's horrible. Even
it doesn't matter, Sabiha, if it is men or women. It doesn't matter. I think the aftercare, the warmth that the woman gives the man or the man gives the woman, that vulnerability. Even men are naked, and even they are actually in a vulnerable position. This is not just about women. This is both for men and women. They both, to be able to feel that somebody is there for you. Even all those kind of things happen in the bedroom now. So I think that is very important, to cuddle, to be there. If this is a problem, if somebody is literally coming and having sex the way you're saying and saying, okay, arey ho gaya, okay, I'm going, really, I mean, look, I don't know. Look, I'm a very rebellious person. I'm a very different personality. I mean, I understand there are so many people who are so tolerant in this world, which is amazing. Like, for example, this gentleman who has been, probably they have children, and probably he is just, adjusting all of this because the children and stuff like that. I think I am made different. I think for me, hurting myself to do something is a bit difficult for me. I'm not built like that. I have tolerated things for a very long time. I should say that I have been a very tolerant woman, very tolerant person. I've been married for over 14 years as well, and I feel like I can't do it anymore.
I get you.
I feel like I just can't. No, but many people, like, sometimes I ask myself, why can't you? Why are you so, look at how many people are, adjusting or doing it for the sake of this, that could be, and then I can't. I
Oh, that
really
takes
can't.
courage, Doc. That takes
You know,
courage.
also because, matlab, the woman is also not enjoying, and I'm also not
Nobody's
enjoying.
enjoying.
Clearly, so in that situation, I won't be doing it. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather not do it. I wouldn't mind being married and living and whatever, that's fine. But to go and put myself through that kind of sex, yeah, I don't think I'm designed. I don't think I can. But it's amazing how, yeah, people do it. It's just
Basically,
amazing.
human beings are not designed for all this.
Yeah,
Because then it will
yeah.
become a robotic machine. आप
No,
मुझे
also,
बताओ ना, Doc.
that is what causes trauma, isn't it,
हाँ,
Sabiha? That is what causes the pain. That is what causes people to behave the way they behave. You know, that is your groundwork to affairs.
yeah,
Like,
true.
yeah,
आप
you know,
मुझे बताओ, 10 साल हम एक रिलेशनशिप में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, 10 years we are open book to each other. 10 साल अगर ओपन बुक रहने के बाद, फीडबैक्स देने के बाद, समझाने के बाद कि मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो नहीं चाहिए, even then the partner is not listening to you, not hearing you, not seeing you, not feeling you.
yeah,
And if that is the scenario, trust me, it is horrible. One has to move out of the scenario. One can't be choiceless
yes,
in bed. One has to
yes.
move out and create a own space. हम खुद की नहीं इज्जत करेंगे तो क्या ही दूसरे करेंगे ना. जिस्म का तो I feel is a big role. My body is temple for me.
Somebody of one of the followers has just, they had commented now saying, self-care is important too. I mean, I understand, but I think we can't confuse self-care to getting loved and cared by someone else. Like, it's not an either or situation. It's not like that. Somebody, wanting your partner to hug you or kiss you or, be there for you, be there with you is non-negotiable. Just because I can do self-care and I'll take care of myself, it doesn't mean that you don't want love and care and affection from a partner. I think people are misunderstanding that sometimes. It's like doing self-care and self-love. Yeah, I love myself. I do self-care. That doesn't mean I am not someone who is vulnerable. That
Yeah,
doesn't
because
mean
I have
I'm
needs.
not.
I want someone to
Yeah,
touch me. I want
yes,
someone
I
to look
want
at
someone
me.
to hug. Yeah. Just because I look like a strong woman, just because I do and
Yeah.
take care of myself, that doesn't mean I'm someone who can live without a cuddle or a hug or a kiss after sex. Because I could be someone who is very strong and independent, but totally would like that in a partner. So that is independent of yourself. It doesn't matter how much self-love, self-care you do to yourself. But in a relationship, there are certain things that is expected out of a partner. And that is very important emotionally and physically for a relationship to keep going and to grow and to develop. And I think that is very important. Yes, sex is key, but before and after sex and everything that works around sex is all something that does groundwork for a very pleasurable sex. You just can't have pleasurable sex when everything else is fucked up around it. I think that's the truth.
And hypothetically, just hypothetical situation, if I tell you, Doc, we both plan a very good sex, we started and we're having a good time, but somehow the other way the erection goes off. Let's hypothetically imagine. Can't two people just laugh on it? Okay, nahi hua bhai, and nahi hua to nahi hua. And the other way around, okay, I'll give pleasure to you. You have your own climax. चलो इसका भी नहीं हो रहा है तो नहीं हुआ ना, नहीं हुआ is okay. Climax नहीं हुआ, but then you can crack a simple joke and then you can cuddle and you can have that aftercare that time.
Yes.
Why can't
And
there
only
be a
then,
space
नहीं
for
तभी
this?
तो next time अच्छा होगा ना. Do you know what I mean? Only
तभी
then,
होगा.
that's what I'm saying. Only then next time will be great. If this time is not whatever, ki nahi hua, like you're saying, nahi hua, or only one person came, whatever the situation is, I think it's very important to hug the person and, sleep in the same bed. If you have a good relationship and if you really, have that bond, and I think that is very important for relationships and great sex. And I think that is very important. Aftercare, cuddles, kisses, very important.
अच्छा लगता है यार, अच्छा
Yeah.
लगता है. Sex
Yeah,
also.
तभी तो अगले बार भी होगा ना. Then only you can do it again and again. This is what I'm telling people. If you want to have amazing sex, your aftercare has got to be at least decent.
At least decent. Bare minimum.
Bare minimum. Yeah, bare minimum. cuddle, kiss on the forehead, love you, baby. It's not rocket science, honestly. And if you think, oh my God, I can't do this, you're asking too much. I don't know. I
And
think
yeah, that narcissism which comes कि मैंने इतना pleasure दिया, इतना orgasm दिया, फिर भी तुम्हारा दिल नहीं भरता है.
बिल नहीं भरेगा यार, प्लेजर या ऑर्गेज्म dildo भी देगा. You know what I mean? The only thing that dildo or anything or any of your sex toys cannot give is cuddles. Is that weight that you put on me? Is that eyes staring into my eyes? It is that kiss on the forehead. ये सभी चीजें only toys can't do. So kindly please don't behave like a toy and behave like a human. Behave like someone who can give more. ऑर्गेज्म या सिर्फ प्लेजर या पेनिट्रेशन तो आजकल तो टॉयज भी देता है ना. सो या गेम अप. People have to game up. Both men and women both have to game up. You know, it is very important to feel the love, to give the affection, because just pleasure, like, you know, we are all, again, you and me, Sabia, we are all big vouchers of masturbation, correct? We are like, go for it. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So then what's the difference then? What's the difference? So there has to be a difference.
हम अकेले में कर ही रहे हैं ना, हम आपके साथ क्यों कर रहे हैं? Why are we doing it with you?
Yeah, the reason we're doing it with another individual is to feel that human touch, is to feel those special, what to say, aftercare, or hugs, or kisses, or warmth, or words that are going to come, the things that are going to fulfill our ego. You know, I won't be surprised if the vibrators, they're going to put in machines where the vibrator is talking, you know, in the future, and the vibrator is saying, I love you, baby. You know?
Oh God.
You know, I'm thinking, Arey, come on, you know, how much do we have to get the toys to do? Arey, kuch to kar lo. You know?
And then if you're using toys, there also the ego hurts. Ki when we are there, why toys?
That's true. No, that's true. See, Sabia, वो तो अलग topic है. हम तो हमेशा बात करते हैं उसके बारे में. Like, why, you know, toys is just like, it's not nothing close to men. Let's be honest. But but also I think it is also important for people to understand that give more around the sexual act, and I think that is very important.
True. And I loved when you said the weight of that person.
Yeah.
The weight of that person on my body. Yeah. I want it there.
Yes.
I want it there. You have finished. You have climaxed. You don't worry whether it is coming out, going out, going anywhere.
I will wash it later.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am like breathing heavy. You don't tell me anything. You keep quiet.
I know. I hear you.
Oh, thank you for understanding. मैं किसी को भी बोलूं तो समझेगा नहीं.
No, it's very important. Actually, when, you know, while we are doing all this teaching and we do a lot of sexual health, I also pay a lot of attention to what it is, and, you know, and stuff. And for me, that's what I was thinking. It's the breadth. वो सांस जो हमारा, it's the breadth, it's the weight. Actually, I'm thinking यही चीज है जो अलग है from the toys.
Vibrator नहीं है.
हाँ.
वो इतना सा vibrator.
The heartbeat. वो जो heartbeat है.
That
you can feel like, you know, wo jo duck, both of you are very high, both of you have just come, and the heartbeat that goes duck, you know, that is, you know, those kind of humanly things, that is what you want. Agar you're doing exactly what a machine's doing, and you're like, okay, get up, chalo, sab ko, I mean, you know, then it doesn't really, yeah.
And in my case too, no, I scream, I'm loud, very building ko samajhta hoga, and then suddenly I have to be quiet. Because it takes time. It takes time for me to go from up to down, then relax, then get up. And I'm not saying it will happen every time, but जब हो रहा है, तब तो it is extreme case. आप extreme case में से मुझे बाहर निकालने में help तो करो.
Give it some time. Yes.
Just be there. Hang
just
on
be
for
there.
A moment.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. At that moment, I don't want any instructions. I don't want anything. I know how to go to washroom, clean, wash, drink water, wear the dress. I know everything, right? By this age, it's not like I don't know it. But even then, that instructions coming is like my brain is tuck. And then this instructions coming, and then there is a clash. And then there's bad, and it is horrible. It is painful. It is like, why did the hell primarily I do it? While feeling.
No,
क्यों मैं उसी
true. And then again, if you have to do it next time, you'll think about it.
Yeah.
If your experience is like, if it doesn't end with cuddles and joy and happiness and stuff like that, if it's like a machine and if you're made to feel used, if you're made to feel shame, then why would you do it again? Then the number of times they are doing will come down, and then you wonder, पता नहीं उसको कोई interest ही नहीं है आजकल, मतलब क्यों होगा? Like, you know.
Audience must be expecting me promoting some product of aftercare. हम सिर्फ emotions पे because for me that's a technical thing.
Aftercare is emotional. Is the correct?
Exactly.
Aftercare is emotional. मतलब वो sexual pleasure and the orgasm and everything is actually finished, right? So aftercare is actually emotional. It is something where now you're not going to get any extra pleasure except your emotions and your vulnerabilities are going to be fed, and that is the time when these things have to be fed. And if you don't feed these things, then to have an amazing sex is hard. That is what we're trying to say, I guess.
Yeah, that's a basic point.
Yeah, so I think that is important. And if, like, for example, if somebody occasionally, you know, you want to get up, or somebody wants to go and pee, or somebody is doing, that's fine, but definitely do come back with the same mindset of getting into the blanket for a cuddle. You know, don't come.
As a courtesy, ask, right? Do you want me here more? At least.
No, but don't ask me. क्या यार करना ही है इसका, ask भी कुछ नहीं है. What is there to ask? Ask मत पूछो. If you ask, I might get very annoyed. If you ask me, do you want a cuddle? I'll be like, are you kidding me? और क्या?
Yeah, because the science behind the hormone is simple. मतलब उस वक्त इतना flooded है मेरा body, और उस हार्मोन का मैं कुछ करी हूँ ना.
Yeah, exactly. But oxytocin is a very emotional. You know, Sabia, sometimes when that oxytocin with cuddles and hugs and stuff is not fulfilled, you almost want to cry.
Oh, I cry,
you know, it is,
man.
People cry. Like it is huge. You know, people cry if that is not fulfilled. And that is important. And I don't think that is going to do any good for long-lasting relationships. If you're just going to have sex and just get up and just go, it's not going to help. It's not going to be great for any sexual relationship. I don't think people will want to do it again at all.
एक तो इतने इजीली ये हार्मोन रिलीज होता नहीं है. आपने इतना मेहनत से अच्छे से इसको रिलीज कराया, और रिलीज करा के इसको इस्तेमाल ही नहीं किया, इसको मतलब वेस्ट होने दिया. इज अ क्राइम.
Because that is also a need that has to be fulfilled. Need sirf pleasure during sex nahi. Need is also feeling pleasure after sex. And pleasure can be in different forms. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, private parts or genitals. It can be emotional as well. You know, it's so when oxytocin is there and you want to feel this kind of pleasure and you're denying it, it's not, people will find that. People will find it to fulfill themselves. Na? It's not like how long can they stay deprived and feeling shame and rejected, or that's not a good feeling. So that is why I think today I want to emphasize the thing of aftercare. Aftercare is very important. If you feel like even after having amazing long sex, something is not right, think about your aftercare and talking about things and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, let me go through if anything is that we have left, because we have a few more minutes. Why is this covered? Sexual shame is covered. What does sexual aftercare include? I guess you covered a lot. Yeah, the vulnerability you covered. Aftercare should always be a part of sex, just like foreplay. Yeah, you covered. Anything else you want to add before we say bye? We have 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, the video will be saved. Many people are asking whether the video will be saved or not. It will be saved on my page, her page. We always save the videos.
Yes.
And trust me, it's a privilege you getting to listen to her. Aram se free mein. So please do go watch from start to the end. It's not easy, you know, getting speakers like you. So the audience should also understand that importance. Getting 1 hour completely from you for free is not a joke. And talking on such a sensitive topic with complete grace. कहीं पे भी ग्रेस की लाइन क्रॉस नहीं होती है ना हमारे डिस्कशन.
But that is the thing, na Sabiha, we enjoy this. Like we don't see this taboo, na?
No.
So, you know, I think we've gone past that situation. We take this very seriously. Like, in the sense, I take educating people on sexual pleasure and sensitivity very serious. Like, you know, people think, oh, sex is just, you know, porn or fun. But I take it very serious. I feel sex is a very emotional thing. And I think that has to be taken very seriously. And before we wind up, I really want to tell people, like, you know, pay attention to your foreplay, pay attention to your aftercare, be kind and nice to people after you've had sex, because that is doing groundwork for another amazing sexual encounter. Yes, you're investing on relationship, you're investing on another amazing experience both inside and outside of bedroom. So be kind. And I think it's very important to be kind. And a lot of the times people think, oh, you know, and especially in long-term relationships, when you're married, when you feel like koi kahin nahi ja raha, everybody is here, you start you know, taking people for granted. And I think that is where the problem is these days, because like need is important. When you're starving, there is no way people are going to adjust and understand and starve for you. Let me just tell people this, right? People are thinking ki are wo adjust kar leti hai, you know, she's adjusting, she doesn't mind, it's okay if I don't do it. You may feel that way, but let me tell you guys, nobody is adjusting when they are starving. Nobody can adjust when they are starving. You know, we all try to a certain extent, but I really want people to understand that when people have needs, it's very important that we fulfill those needs. It can be hunger, it can be thirst, it can be sex, it can be emotions, it can be cuddles. Please don't say, oh, main cuddle bhi nahi karti, she understands. Nahi ho raha hai ye understanding. Then you know why unnecessarily anybody is going to get disappointed. Because clearly everybody these days know and want to have their needs met.
और अच्छा लगता है ना यार डॉग गले लगने से, अच्छा ही तो लगता है.
नहीं, choices भी आजकल बहुत है सभी. It's not like those days ना. आज तो इंटरनेट का जमाना है, डेटिंग एप्स का जमाना है. People are like, availability भी है, and also people are open about their needs. It is not like those days. And I think part of evolution, we should all understand that needs are important. Needs being met is very important. And if your partner is trying to, you know, tell you ki mujhe ye karna acha lagta hai na, ye kar lo, wo kar lo, it's like this, you know. I mean, we all know ki when he says today I feel like having suji ka halwa, and before he comes in the evening, we are all making suji ka halwa. Because you know ki when somebody said I feel like suji ka halwa, that we have to make it. We know that it is not rocket science. We know that from many years. Sexual needs bhi aisa hi hai. If somebody says I really feel like, you know, don't sex ke baad aise ud ke kyun ja rahe ho, like, you know, why don't you just cuddle and lie down? If somebody is saying that, take that very serious. No, take it very serious. It's a need. It's a vulnerable need. It's not easy for somebody to come and tell you, please hug me or please kiss me. It's not easy. And it's very embarrassing, and also they may not tell you bar. And agar bar nahi bol rahe, iska matlab ye nahi hai ki they have accepted ki, oh, it's okay, mujhe hug ya kiss ya khair ya love nahi chahiye, he can just have sex with me and get up and go. No, aise nahi hai. If they have stopped telling you and they're not telling you, they are thinking about it. They are thinking about ab kya karna hai? What should I do? I have that need. I'm not getting it from this person, and we have had this conversation. What should I do? That thought is there in every human's brain. Whether you people want to accept it or not, it is the fact. Aise koi bhi, like girl or boy, doesn't matter. There is no person who is actually saying, okay, you treat me how you want. Okay, it's okay if you don't give me, even after I have told you 100 times ki mujhe yehi chahiye. If you have not giving me and I have stopped telling you that, please don't misunderstand it for, oh, accept kiya. She has understood that, you know, we won't do it. Aise nahi hota hai. He or she is thinking, ab main kya karu? Now I'm hungry. I want this. मुझे अब तो सूजी का हलवा खाने का बहुत मन कर रहा है. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You know, sometimes The truth is, guys, no matter how much you control from having the suji ka halwa, they have told you 10 times suji ka halwa chahiye, and they are thinking, "Arey no yaar, chalo wo nahi de rahe, main kya karu? I'm craving for it." All it takes is somebody else to bring a suji ka halwa plate.
100%. And that person
And then,
deserves to have suji ka halwa from damn anybody.
No, but
100%.
also kitna bhi. I mean, it is a need na. वो तो 100 बार बोल चुकी है. She's told you 100 times. You have no intention of listening to it, and lot of people think, no, she has understood. Yeah, no, he understands. He doesn't want it any. ऐसे हो ही नहीं सकता. ऐसे हो ही नहीं सकता. Even if he understands, even if he wants to understand, and even if he says, "Chalo, nahi de rahi hai suji ka halwa," we are all humans. All it takes is for a hot plate of suji ka halwa somewhere standing in front of your eyes, and the thoughts will start. You're only human. They may not go and grab it immediately, but the thoughts will start. The temptation is there because we are all humans. That is how human mind works, right? So you'll be coming home, you'll still be thinking, "Arey yaar, I saw the suji ka halwa there. Should I have it? Should I have it? Should I have it?"
हलवा फिर भी हम उसी से मांग रहे जो दे नहीं रहा।
हाँ, तभी तो ना, so I want people to understand कि जब कोई अपने मुंह खोल के या हार्ट को खोल के या सेल्फ एस्टीम को छोड़ के आपसे कुछ पूछ रहा है, give it some thought. Is it so difficult to give someone what they need, what they feel like when they have told you in a vulnerable position or state? Think about it. Because आजकल people इतना thinking नहीं कर रहे हैं. People are very ready to blame. Oh, how could you do? What do you mean, how could you do? 15 बार बोल चुकी है कि यही चाहिए. And if
और वो विक्की कौशल के जैसे चांद तोड़ के लाऊंगा, सितारे तोड़ के लाऊंगा नहीं. Only one cuddle.
Yes. हाँ, that's what one cuddle, one kiss में क्या होता है? क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Like in the sense, really, like what is it? What is it? And when people think, and if you feel proud, मैंने नहीं दिया, and she has understood. No. Nobody understanding नहीं हो रहा है. And even if they understand, remember, it is only human. It is very human to, you can control your needs, you can control your wants, you can say, "Arey kya karu," and you can be, but all it takes is for a temptation to float in front of you, to float through. Why unnecessarily give space for something so simple? What is it? Right? So I want really to tell people, pay attention to have a good relationship, to keep the relationship going, keep the sexual pleasure and happiness and joy and everything going. Pay attention to what you're doing and saying before and after that. That's my conclusion for today.
Thank you for being so open and honest. Yeah, that is the beauty while talking to you.
Yeah.
There are no filters.
Yeah. Filter करके क्या फायदा? Sometimes people say, "What are you saying? That it is okay to cheat?" ये सब बात, it's not something.
Label लगाने का बात
ये सब छोड़ा, ऐसे कोई ये नहीं बोल रहा है. Nobody says this. So many people say, "What are you saying? Are you saying it is okay?" Nobody is saying it is okay. Okay, everybody is saying keep your दिमाग खोल के, आँख खोल के, keep all your senses open and see कि क्या हो रहा है.
Because they're not trying to listen to what is underlying you said, ना? ऊपर बड़ा picture label लगा दिया, बात
nobody
खत्म.
is saying that. What I'm trying to say is always open your eyes. Open your eyes. 15 बार कोई बोल चुका है कि क्या चाहिए ना, सुना नहीं ना. Open your eyes. And I think that is very important. So that is where I think aftercare and those kind of things come into place. And is very important.
I'm sure, yeah. So anyone who will watch this till the end will at least get something out of it. आज at least 10 couples भी जाके post sex करो ना करो, कभी-कभी सिर्फ और सिर्फ ये करने से भी कितना अच्छा सुकून लगता है, सुकून.
Yeah. So I think this is a different kind of pleasure. ये pleasure बहुत जरूरी है for you to keep going with that pleasure.
In sessions, people are so curious about new positions, Kama Sutra, this, that.
Yeah, same. It's all about ये वो जितना भी करो, upside down लटका के करो, फिर भी it doesn't mean anybody is happy, ना?
How you put that full stop matters.
100%.
It matters. It matters. So yes, on that note, we will keep on this chain alive, yeah, dog.
Yes, we will do.
Interesting topic के साथ आते हैं. Inform me a bit like a month, 2 months prior, so I collect a good amount of audience before you come.
Yeah.
We plan some course, or I can plan some course here and get connected you via online, something like that also.
Yeah, let's talk, Sabiha. We'll talk. We'll be in touch.
Talk on that. Okay.
Chalo.
And take care.
All right.
Take care.
Have a lovely rest of the day.
Next
And I'm going to bed.
live I want.
I know. Next time, curly wali karke acha wali aungi. Okay.
Chalo. Bye.
Take care. Chalo. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being there.